video for the review, part 4. These are applications of piecewise functions. So the first one is about admission fees for the Columbus Zoo. It says the Columbus Zoo offers admission to groups according to the following policy. Groups of fewer than 50 people are charged $35 per person. Groups of 50 people or more are charged a reduced rate of $30 per person. So the bigger the group, the cheaper it is to go. Let's write a piecewise function for this scenario. X is the number of people. So let's see. We know that for fewer than 50 people, people is the X, so that's our domain. So for fewer than 50, I charge $35 per person. Well, that 35 per person, I could write that as 35X, $35 per person. Now think about my domain. I know that I want it to be less than 50, right? That's the number of people less than 50 will be charged that. However, I can't have negative people. The smallest people that can actually come, number of people that can come to the zoo is 0, right? You could have 0 people coming, and I can include 0 there. So that's actually the domain for the first function, from 0 up to but not including 50. Now, if I have 50 people, 50 or more, they charge $30 per person. And here, it doesn't say there's a limit on how many people you can bring, so the domain here would be from 50 inclusive and larger. That would be your equation. Now, if I'm going to graph this, I have a segment, I have to graph a couple points. So we know that the first one is a segment here. So for that first equation, I can plot just 2 points in my table. We'll do 0 and 50. Okay, and you can use your calculator here. 35 times 0 is 0. And then I'll have 35 times 50, which is $1,750. So those are actually the 2 points I'm going to plot for the first segment. I'm going to have a closed dot at 0 and an open dot at 50. So when I scoot over here, I'll have 0, 0. Now here you just have to be careful graphing. I'll be at 50. These are going by hundreds. So 1,750 is right around here. And just do your best to connect with a straight line. It's good enough. All right, the next one is 30x. Now, I want, it's a ray, so when I graph this ray here, I need to plot more than just the point at 50. And I'm going to have a closed dot and it's a ray. So I'm just going to do 50, 60, and 70. That should be good enough to make my ray. So 50 times 30 is 1,500. 30 times 60 is 1,800. And then 30 times 70 is 2,100. Right, those are nice points to graph. So I'll close dot at 50, 1,500. Dot at 60, 1,800. And 70, 2,100. That should be good enough to connect there and make my ray. So there's your piecewise graph. Now just answer the question. Questions here. How much will it cost a group of 30 people to go to the zoo? Well, 30 is within that first domain. So I'm going to take 35 times 30. Use your calculator here. And that's $1,050. So if you take a group of 30 people, it's going to cost you $1,050. The next one says, how much will it cost to take a group of 125 people to the zoo, like you have a wedding or something. It's $30 per person for that, because 125 is bigger than 50. So I'll have 30 times 125, which is $3,750. And there you go. All right, last one. One more problem. Talking about parking costs in a parking garage. Says that the parking garage charges $3 for up to, but not including, 1 hour of parking. So like 59 minutes, they'll charge you to park there. Then they charge $4 for 1 hour, up to 2 hours, not inclusive, and $5 from 2 to 3 hours. Anything over 3 hours of parking, $3 or more, they charge 8. So let's write a piecewise function and graph it. So we'll start with the first sentence. They charge $3 flat. It's not per hour, it's just $3. So this is a constant function for up to, but not including, So up to but not including 1 hour of parking. Now, just like the zoo problem, you can't park a negative number of hours. You could park 0 hours here. So we have to include 0 in the domain. Next, they charge $4 flat for 1 hour inclusive, 1 hour, up to but not including 2 hours. Same idea for $5. If I go for 2 hours, I pay $5, up to and not including 3 hours. And finally, if I'm from 3 hours or larger, they charge you $8. So that's for any amount of time bigger than or equal to 3 hours. Now this is kind of like what we call a step function. It's going to be a bunch of constants here. So I'm going to be a constant, a horizontal line at 3 from 0 to 1. There's my first segment. At 4, I'll have a closed dot at 1 and an open dot at 2 and connect there. At 5, I'll have a closed dot at 2, open dot at 3, and finally I jump all the way up to 8 here and connect over that way. All right, there's your applications. You might actually have the idea of a piecewise function in real life.